Man, I had a really long day yesterday, so when I got home, man, I just crashed. I didn't pay any attention to the news, didn't know what was going on. But when I woke up, I saw this comment. Here's Johnny! From commenter, ex-dirty old man Bob.
Dirty South, dirty. Ain't got really feel me. Really.
Looks like Steam just killed Stadia while it's on life support. And then I replied, hey, I remember when Steam was new and everyone hated it. Remember this comment when you see Stadia in the future. And then ex-dirty old man Bob replies,
Dirty.
at YaBoyTwiz, when you can stream everything on Steam, what's the point of Stadia? They got fucked on their Serious Sam deal. Remember, games on Steam are a hell of a lot cheaper. And I'm like, whoa. He's talking about the partnership between Steam and GeForce Now, so I decided to go ahead and look it up and see what he's talking about.
So we're in a fire, right?
Yeah. Oh, you ought to be ashamed of yourself right now. You want to do the honors? Go ahead. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Steam Cloud Play Beta is something of a pilot for cloud-based gaming. Developers are starting to get access to Steam Cloud Play, a new feature Valve is working on that will directly integrate your Steam library into services like GeForce Now, allowing you to play the best PC games you already own wherever you want through the cloud. Documentation for this service also suggests that devs will eventually be able to take advantage of cloud servers hosted by Valve itself, though the company says anything beyond GeForce Now integration will be some time away. Blue adds that we are always testing additional ways for our customer to play games in their Steam library. To that end, this is something of a pilot for cloud-based gaming via Steam. Although we have no further announcements at this moment, we are open to adding additional cloud partners over time. The new documentation explains how developers could opt in to Steam Cloud Play. Notice here how it says games can be opted in, not all games. So you won't be able to play all your games on GeForce Now, just the games the developers decide to opt in. You just murdered that man!
You're next.
And there are many reasons for developers not to want to opt in. Some of them might want to try to hold their games back and try to get some extra licensing fees to the individual cloud platform. You might find some games that are stream exclusive only to GeForce Now, as well as some games that are only stream exclusive to another competing platform. This is not going to be all your Steam games in one place like you think it will. So with that said, I decided to go ahead and sign up for GeForce Now and really try it, because before you criticize something, doesn't it make sense to at least try it so you have an understanding what you're talking about? I know most of you guys that hate on Stadia and Google haven't done so. You just heard somebody else talk bad about it. Why not actually try it? Yep, nothing wrong with this. Well, what do you know? NVIDIA GeForce Now is free. I'm going to go ahead and try it. And I'll show you guys right here what I think. All right, so have a look here. So it is free, but you only get 1 hour sessions. On Stadia, you play as long as you want. And there are queues on NVIDIA and you have to wait in line before you can play. On Stadia, there is no wait time. So it's like that too if you want to play on this service. You sign in, you wait your turn in line, and then over time you get to play your game. However, once you played for 1 hour, you get kicked out and you have to sign up again to play in another game. On Stadia, you play as long as you want, don't have to worry about being kicked out of your game. That doesn't sound very convenient. One of the reasons people like cloud gaming is the convenience. You just press a button and you load in and play. I'll show you here on Stadia. I can't help but notice you can pay for priority access for $5 a month. You can pay for a shorter timing queue and for a longer game session. Once again, on Stadia, you get in instantly and play as long as you want, even on the free version. So here you go, I'm on my Stadia account. I'm just gonna select the game I wanna play. How about Division 2? And then you just click the game and play it. And we'll load it up. I'll put a timer on the screen so you guys can see how long it takes. And just like that, I'm in the game. All right, so on GeForce Now, I selected the game I wanted to play. I figured I'd choose one of the free-to-play games, so I chose Dauntless, so I click play. And then, as you see, it has to wait to load. Oh no, it's analyzing the network connection, so let's see what happens after it does this. All right, connected. All right, looking for next available rig, because remember, you have to wait your turn. And what is this? 40 gamers are ahead of me, so I have to wait for 40 gamers before I can get in. As you can see, it gives you a convenient button to upgrade there at the bottom right corner. Keep in mind, upgrading costs $5 a month. For now, the price will probably go up. As you can see, the timer's already well past where Stadia was at, 39 in the queue. I don't think I want to make this whole video just waiting to get in, so I'll probably end up fast forwarding this. Let's go back to replying to the original comment. I believe he was saying games on Stadia are way more expensive than they are on Steam. I recall Ars Technica doing an article on this before, so let's see what they had to say on it. Some Stadia games cost more than their downloadable counterparts. Stadia's Darksider Genesis is 25% less on Steam, same price as coming console versions. Oh yeah, I remember this, man. I wasn't happy about that either. In fact, I spoke out about it on the official Stadia Reddit and I got fucking downvoted to infinity. Yeah, it kinda sucked, but let's go on to read what they have to say about this. While most titles sell for the same price on Stadia as other platforms, there are a few others that are currently seeing a streaming price premium. Just Dance 2020 goes for $50 on the service compared to the $40 on modern consoles. The Wii version has already been reduced to $30 at many retailers. So let me interject right there. Ex dirty old man Bob.
Dirty South. Dirty. Ain't got really feel me.
You made it sound like every game on Stadia was more expensive than we can get it somewhere else, but the article clearly points out that most games are the same price. Yeah, there are some games that are the exception. There's some games that are more expensive on Stadia than they are on Steam, but look what the article also says. There's some games on Steam that are more expensive than the consoles. This isn't anything unique about Stadia. This isn't anything bad exclusive to Stadia. And with Stadia being a new platform, developers not really knowing what the price ecosystem is going to be like, it's not surprising for them to experiment and try different price structures. A lot of people really didn't like that price hike that was put on that Darksiders game. So I have a feeling that the price hikes that they're doing just because they can will start fading away, because otherwise they won't sell. I'm sure Google's in talks with them as well. And like I said, in my experience, all the newer games that are coming out, they're all the same price. I just saw a body go flying in the air. Was that you?
Yeah, it was me.
Here, toss him this way.
All right.
Oh God, yeah. I caught him, don't worry. He totally didn't slam his head on the ground or nothing. Grid is currently available for $27 as part of the Steam surprise sale, down from $60 standard price on Stadia. The Ultimate Edition of the game is $5 cheaper on Steam, even without the discount. I'd like to point out that Grid is currently free for Stadia Pro subscribers right now. I just want to throw that out there. And the Platinum Edition of Farming Simulator 19 sold for $40 on Stadia compared to the $25 to $35 price before Google added the game to December Stadia Pro freebies and offered refunds to early purchases. Whoa, hold on a second. So they made that game free. So if you're a Stadia Pro subscriber, you got the game for free. And check this out. If you had bought the game at its original price and then it became free later, they gave you a refund on the money you spent. I'm not throwing any shade at Steam. I love Steam. But let's say you buy a game at full price on Steam, and then a couple weeks later it goes on discount or is given out for free. Does Steam give you a refund strictly for that purpose? What about Walmart, Amazon, Target, wherever else you buy games? Will they give you a refund strictly for that? No, they don't. It's amazing how whenever people perceive something bad about Stadia, you're gonna hear about it. But when the good stuff happens, you have to dig for this information. This is what I don't understand. Why don't people try it themselves and form their opinions based off their own experience instead of just going by what they hear on the internet? It's so wild, man. But let's keep reading. But there are deals to be had on Stadia too. Rise of the Tomb Raider 20-year celebration sells for just $30 on a streaming service compared to $60 on Steam. Games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Mortal Kombat 11, and Final Fantasy 15 were briefly offered at a steep discount for Stadia Pro subscribers. Is this the part where I can be a smartass and say, haha, looks like games on Stadia are cheaper than games on Steam? No, on some cases you'll have games more expensive on Steam, on some cases you'll have games more expensive on Stadia. Overall, for the most part, it looks like the games are going to be the same price on all platforms. For the most part. I can't help but be a smartass. At least on Stadia, you don't have to pay for your hardware, such as your computer or your console. What people need to understand right now, what's going on right here, this is Steam's Hail Mary. This is Steam's ultimate attack. This is their last-ditch efforts to stay relevant. Because the truth is, NVIDIA and Steam, they cannot compete with YouTube servers. They cannot compete with Google servers. This is the best they can do. What you're going to see happen, you'll see more games come over to GeForce Now, not all, but more. And then you'll see them trying to beef up their servers and beef up their capacity to actually compete with Google. But how long do you think it will take before they actually have enough servers to where there is no wait time? Enough servers so we just jump straight in the game. Enough servers to where you can play as long as you want. Because they're not already in the servers game, it's going to be a long time if ever they can compete in that department. And by the time they do get enough servers to where it's comparable to Stadia, by then Stadia will have all the games too. And you know what I'm saying is true. That's going to take a long time for them to do this. And this is assuming they actually try to compete that hard. By then, Stadia will have all the games you care about. At least they'll have enough to where it's a non-issue. Finally got into GeForce Now at 4 minutes and 51 seconds. It only took 16 seconds over on Stadia.
All right, I'm coming.
All right, I'm ready.
Uh-oh.
Oh God, they landed on the fence and died. We're gonna have to...
To forget about that?
Yeah. GeForce Now is not new. Stadia is, and Stadia is already coming out the gate with way better servers, way better connections. Google, along with YouTube and everything else they do in the cloud, is more suited towards cloud gaming. How long do you think it will take for NVIDIA to catch up, or any other cloud competitor? The only ones that can really compete, they can even look comparable to Google, would be Microsoft and Amazon, because they already do cloud services and they have servers worldwide ready to go. So I've already shown that the game prices are the same on Stadia, at least for the most part. And as you can see, the game services are better. So look, if they don't have the game you want on Stadia, you didn't invest in any hardware. You don't got to buy the game on Stadia. If you want to buy it on your PC or PlayStation or whatever console you have, you can go for it. But if you want to play a game in the cloud, if you know you only want to play it in the cloud, or if you don't want to buy hardware just so you can play one game, you just want to pay for the game and play it, it makes sense to buy it on Stadia. Why would you buy it for the same price on Steam, pay $5 more for GeForce Now, and then put up with a longer loading time and a shorter game sessions on GeForce Now, when you buy the same game for the same price and just jump right in and play it on Stadia? Stadia's only really guilty of two things. One is the library. Yes, the library of games is kind of small. It will expand over time, just like every other platform. Every other platform that releases doesn't come out with a lot of games, but over time, games are added. I expect the same thing to happen to Stadia, especially considering almost every game development company out there will tell you streaming is the future, so the library will expand. The second thing Stadia is guilty of is just being new. People hate it just because it's new. They hate it just because it's different. Very few people actually try it and actually give it a fair shot. They already like, oh, it's new, I got something else, why would I want to try Stadia? Well, I just shown you reasons to try Stadia. Look, man, to play games on Stadia, it involves no investment in hardware. So just because you bought a game on Stadia, that doesn't mean you can't play your games on Steam or your consoles anymore. If it makes more sense to buy it on Stadia because you want to play it in the cloud, buy it on Stadia. It makes more sense to buy it on your desktop because you just bought a brand new computer and you want to use it, buy it on your computer. You can have both. Look, man, I know this is hard to picture, but let me try to put it to you like this. As technology advances, we get away from dedicated hardware. Remember when everybody had a computer just so they can have email and go online? Now that we can do email and the ability to go online through our phones, most people, at least a lot of people, they no longer have computers. Remember when we used to buy DVD players just so we can watch movies? But now that we can stream our movies from the cloud through Netflix or through dongles, we no longer have to buy dedicated hardware just for streaming. Same thing with music. Remember when people used to buy CD players just so they can listen to their music? And now that we have streaming services, we no longer buy CD players. Streaming is the future of all things digital, including gaming. Once game streaming gets good enough, which I feel with Stadia it already is, just good enough to replace physical hardware, you will slowly start seeing people not buy computers anymore, not buy dedicated devices. They will move to playing in the cloud. The biggest hurdle to that isn't the technology. The technology is actually there. It's the internet. As the internet improves, you will see more people just stream their games from the cloud. And with the advent of 5G right around the corner, you're gonna see a whole lot of people get a big boost in the internet. So if you think Stadia don't make sense, you're not looking at the future. You're just looking straight ahead of you. I, for one, can't wait for the day when I can stop building $2,000 computers every 2 years just to keep up the latest gaming. I can't wait for the day for just to pay $60 for the game and not have to worry about the hardware. That's what I'm waiting for. Because every game currently isn't on Stadia, because every game I want to play currently isn't in the cloud, I'm going to continue to buy hardware. But there will come a day where everything I want to play will be in the cloud. And when that happens, I'm going to dial back on the hardware and save some money and spend more money on games. And if you're wondering why game developers are supporting cloud gaming, that's why. People can take the money they were spending on hardware and spend that on games. I'm your boy Twiz. Don't forget to like, comment, follow, and subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for supporting my channel. Laters, y'all. Raven said, what is this game? It's called Ember. Welcome to the stream, Raven.
Oh, the fire's everywhere. There ain't no way. I'm getting out. Yeah.
We are professional firefighters.
Yeah, I'm getting out.
Come on, let's go. Your pink sunglasses on. No, your pink eyebrows?